Did everybody see Austin and Derek pull?
I did, yeah.
Live, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were there. Yeah, fucking right. And so anybody want to talk about that match? That was an interesting, as we're talking about things not going as might have expected.
Well, I thought it was definitely interesting that we saw yet again the wedge press being effective against a big, nasty top roller, right?
Yeah.
We've seen that multiple times. You know, Jerry was doing it to Georgie, and Hermes was doing it to Levon. And is this? I mean, obviously we've seen this before, but is this going to be the new hotness for a while?
Well, it's interesting I just see it from the video. So maybe if Evan was there, you might, or if you guys have a different take on it, but it still looks like it's always that, like, you got to fight high to some point. I mean, Jerry has a way of like kind of just diving in there. It's a little bit unique, but in all these situations where we're seeing it happening, it's like fighting high, getting some sort of like balance point or stop, and then committing inside and like as if, okay, I guess that's what's left, you know? And
yeah, it's almost like if you're a top roller going against the top roller, it's almost necessary to have a press as a backup plan, because if your top roller gets taken, you're going to have to go there. Otherwise, you're just going to give up the match. Right?
I think it's mostly guys that have like a hook base that are trying. They're just having a hard time setting their hook, and they're losing their hand, but they still have enough arm and side pressure just to keep that arm from going down. And at some point, you just start turning sideways and pushing because you got nothing else to do. Your hand's already gone.
Yeah.
Guys that don't care if their arm breaks tend to do very well at that.
Yeah.
But in the Austin with Derek match, you feel it was more like he was trying to get his hook and he didn't get it, more so than he fought high a little bit to slow him down? Or
he tried both ways, and you know, there was matches that he ended up with a cup and matches he ended up without it.
Right.
So when he got his hand taken, he wasn't going to stop. He just, what else do you do? Fuck it, go sideways.
Yeah.
I think it's more a lack of options at that point than anything else.
Yeah.
So Matt, as a big top roller in that sense, how does that, like, what's threatening about that wedge getting in there? Is it something that people are figuring out, or is it just like kind of coincidence that we've seen it happen?
I think if you're not able to transition, if you get somebody in there, because every single time they're getting them close to the pin line, but if you're not able to transition into a smooth press from there, from a top row position, you're fucked.
It's kind of
you almost need a bell to, if there's somewhat of a close level of strength. Like you can see at the beginning rounds, Derek was heads and fucking tails above Jaggers and fucking strength right off the fucking bat. And I think there was some little mistakes.
Yeah, he was hanging on for sure.
Stupid little cocky mistakes made by Derek that probably cost him the match. And I can guarantee you he's probably fucking losing sleep over it, because he's been playing in his head over and over and over again, and it's just eating him up. But just the amount of drive, the not willingness to give up that Jaggers fucking demonstrated, and obviously you needed some fucking stamina belt to hang on to a big man like that as long as he did. I say it goes to show that Jaggers is definitely starting to make strides into that next level for sure. So, but I think it was a little bit of both ends that did it, and I do believe that if you do have that strong top roll and you can get somebody over and you're not able to finish them, if you can't get him behind your arm, because someone that's into that position where they're wedging, you're so fucking vulnerable to somebody just come straight down on you and attack your fucking bicep, it's over. But if you can't transition from here and roll it into up top, like the way Brezink does it is absolutely phenomenal. It's finesseless, right? Like it looks like it's just all natural. There's no legs or any spots where the guy can jam him up and sink his shoulder a little more. But if you're not able to possess that, you're fucked.
Yeah. Well, that's basically like your match with Jerry, right? That was the round that you got him like that. That was exactly what you did,
and it wasn't. I tried to do that in round number 4, but he was already sunk in too much. I needed to get him. If you can get him just slightly with his hand outside the shoulder, you can press that shit all day long as you can pop up on top of it, right?
Yeah.
So it's being able to get them outside of that shoulder to be able to get on top and attack it. Otherwise, if they're still inside that shoulder and you go to roll in on top, you're either going to end up deep inside, or you can end up driving your elbow out, right? Because you got such a lock, much more of a lock with your hand in front of your shoulder as opposed to behind it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like, so with Georgie, he just never comes up to press Jerry the whole match, right?
Well,
like,
it was over.
In position.
It was over. Like, I don't think he realized how easy it was. Like, he didn't even need to finish or stop doing this. He just needed to keep this, but just roll everything up behind it and just come down. Like, it was so over. It wasn't even funny, but I don't know if maybe because his knees gave out on him, he just couldn't stand up from that point anymore without help. But it was like, it was done.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and then with Levon and Hermes, it seemed like Levon was maybe trying to do it, but Hermes had enough endurance and speed there where he kept, like you said, he kept wedging
every time. Yeah, that's just it. He wasn't finesse enough. There was a little bit of a lag and a stop when he was from here, and he came at Hermes when he went to come on top of his arm, and that was enough to get Hermes to do this. And then you can see he went to drive a couple times and hit that lock, and and I've done that myself, where I've been in that position, I'd go to hit, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, you can see that, like, that probably actually hurt Levon, right? Because I know
really big dudes have problems with that whole motion of just getting up over top of it. Like, I know I'm not even close to the size of those guys, but when I was like 280, 290, my gut was just in the way. Like, I could not get turned over it. It just doesn't work as well when you get.
And it's harder when you're kind of in a little bit more of an open top roll. If you're in a top roll and you're in this position where your elbow's still tight to your body, you're still able to kind of get on top of it. If you're in a top roll position and you're here, now to get in behind your arm, you got to suck that fucking elbow back in, right? And when they're trying to suck that elbow back in to do it, that's where they're getting caught.
Yeah.
You know, if they can drive over and you keep that elbow really tight into you, maintain that containment, then you can roll into that press where you're not compromising anything, right?
And if you got a big gut, your elbow's always out there. That is tight to your body.
Yeah. That's probably exactly why Georgie doesn't feel like that's there. Because again, as Evan said,
and Georgie's doing it. Georgie's dropping his ass end when he's doing it, right? His legs, his knees are buckling when he's doing. He's not bending at his torso and keeping his ass up in behind his elbow by the elbow pad. He's running out of options, right?
Yeah.
The more, like I always try to tell my guys right at the beginning, stay tight, stay tight. Yeah, you feel so much stronger when you're out, but if you can stay tight, you've got so many fucking options. Because if you get over here and you can't finish somebody, you're still able to get into a press. You can roll into a hook. You can do everything. As soon as you start opening shit up, your abilities to be able to get more advantages. Right here, you got 100% options, 90%, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40. As soon as you're out here, you ain't got no fucking options. You're at zero, right? The only option you can have is continue to fucking lay down unless your opponent gets so tired and makes the biggest, dumbest, stupid mistake, and you can transition into it from there, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Was that like insulting for you being a Kings mover, Jason?
What's that? That might have been a dig at a Kings move, but I can take it.
Well, it's not a ding at the Kings move. It's a fact, right?
That's where that is exactly what the Kings move is.
You don't have many options.
The Kings move is exactly that. It's exactly like, okay, the only option I have is that I can still hang on to some pronation. We were even like, Alex and I were literally making a video about this today, but usually where a Kings move works like that is
My name is Alex Keary, and I'm co-founder of Table Monkeys here in Toronto.
What's up, guys? Jason here from the Table Monkeys.
And we are honored to be hosting the East vs. West qualifier here in Toronto. We're going to have the best names in Canada here to compete, and some special guest appearances. Just to name a few, Devin Laird and Matt Masker are going to be here.
Men's, women's, amateur, pro.
We're going to run the pro tournament down to a final four. and then getting to see them in a round robin. We're going to get to see everybody pull everybody.
If you want to test yourself against the top competition, you have to be here.
It's the way to qualify to make it to Virginia, to
get your chance to go to the finals, get your chance to be on the big stage in Istanbul.
April 8th, El Macambo Tavern. This is the place to be.
If we stop taking chances, you and I might never find the answer.